also wanted to get the link from our last show too.
Ah, you didn't?
Mm-mm.
Okay, here we are to have fun. Pavel is
Good
also here
evening.
today.
Yes, namaste.
Hi, Pavel.
Hi, Jenny. I will be without video. It's okay.
What'd you say?
I will be without video, sorry, but I will listen.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, here we are. Oh, it was double sound was on, so it was confusing. It was going live and also our talk, both going together. It was an echo. So here we are again, Jenny, to the point of let's see how much fun you have in parenting and discipline.
Yeah.
So it's a real challenge to discipline your children or and grandchildren or children, and bringing fun with that. To me, too, in India, Ayurvedic way or the way Indian mind will see the whole phenomena of parenting, and what I have learned through my conditionings, I was grown up in authoritarian parenting, not authoritative. We cannot say anything to parents. Yeah, and even though both parents talking or any elder talking, you can't even interfere, neither they will ask you anything. So, and discipline, like 3 o'clock, somebody calls you in your name, you are sleeping, you have to wake up and say, yes, sir.
Oh my.
Yeah, like this,
Jeez.
students like.
Poor thing.
Very, very authoritarian, because we coming from like a ruler kind of family. So if you, two ways, yes, parenting was rulers and to be ruled. So if you are in a ruler family, it's always authoritarian. Yeah, it's not authoritarian. So today I was contemplating about whole phenomena, and the picture was coming like this. In rural family, the conditionings or the teachings are authoritarian, like direct discipline, and if something wrong, punishment, a reinforcement, because that is needed for him to execute further.
What kind of punishment was there?
Any kind of punishment, physical to emotional.
Jeez.
Yeah. And it should be legitimate by all society. In the village you are, it will be legitimated. Even in village, anyone who is elder than you is your boss, kind of. So the whole system, because of coming from the rulership of feudalism, like a small kingdom, and then that's what it was this. So coming to that lineage or that kind of family, I was like full like a discipline. No way you can even think of rebelling against authority.
Especially one child.
Yeah, that's the teaching. That's the teaching that, and do you know how to handle the rebels? So very small, like body language will turn like this in the elders if they are sitting. And even the body language little bit show correction.
Oh my goodness.
Tone. If the tone goes a little bit higher, correction, which is a punishment. You cannot raise the tone high with the elders. So this way I was disciplined in my childhood. So later on, when I started to, but until 12, kind of. Later on, when I become teenager, I become nobody there. My father was not there. So I have to consult books, psychology books, to study about teenage, the symptoms, the mind change, the pressures of peer groups. And through that, I need to educate myself. that what's happening to me, what change is happening to me. So obedience is the bottom line in authoritarian parenting.
Did you have any friends?
Pardon?
Did you have any friends that you could consult with and talk to?
No, no, no. I'm not saying I'm not anything. I'm not complaining about it at all.
Oh, I know. But did you have friends? Could you have like
Yeah.
friends over and oh good.
No, we are not allowed to play with other children because they don't come to your standard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and two tuitions like morning, evening, two tutors, one in school, then after parent, like all your whole life is always watched and disciplined and yeah, like this. And not playing with other children, not going out of the house or things like this way. No, to whom you can play, to whom you cannot play, to whom how you will talk, to whom how you will not talk. He is not equal to you. He's like always categorization, lower, higher, discipline. This way, I was grown up until 12. Then after, life changed completely. And after that, I left my family. So all conditioning has to go. And later on, I started learning about authoritative children, like idea in psychology. It started to come, the authoritative children. So they ask the children, they include their skills, include their idea with creativity, asking them, like problem solving together. I noticed that since being in the village and city, when the skill transfer, when you are transferring skill, when the skill transfer happening from one generation to another generation, and it's practical, pragmatic, then it's authoritarian. Since beginning, later on it can change to authoritarian, but if the skill transfer is there, it's authoritarian. In India, it's authoritarian. When modern society came up and father is not transferring his skill to child and child is not learning from the father. In that way, it started to become authoritative because father may be a plumber, child wants to be a carpenter. In that, there is no skill transfer, then authoritative mode of parenting started to evolve when skill becomes independent. The child can choose what I will become irrelevant to what is my father. Child can dream what I can become irrelevant to who are my parents. In that scenario, authoritative new kind of parenting started to come up. Before, if we are not modern, so before was also everywhere you see authoritarian, direct disciplines, only command, order, reward or punishment. Direct, immediate, and that's also behavioristic, physical, on behaviors. So this authoritative, the new psychology started to evolve, Europe started to develop, and they said, no, this is not the way to develop. And that's really worked for Europe and America, and all the children who were authoritative, they started running towards Europe and America because they wanted to create. They didn't want to follow and become like their father or become like their mother. So in that situation, child will and cannot rebel in the family. So child started looking somewhere, nobody sitting on my head, and I can be freely explore the family.
Right.
America gives this platform. Anyone who thinks is intelligent, welcome. Explore. That's how it becomes. Is born there, coming from all the sources. And on that point, America become America. Authoritative. Parenting authoritative. You cannot punish a child in the school. Before, children were being punished by teachers in the school. That was authoritarian. Reward and punishment reinforced. Later on, it started to develop, no, howsoever you think you are responsible for the future of the child, but punishment Physical punishment is not. It's against the law. So here, children started to have their own say and ask the children for problem solving, include them in strategic thinking, and make them included. This was the authoritative way. And today, where is my mobile? Mobile. I am also becoming 75 plus 1, putting things here and there.
I could explain that, but I won't. But I won't.
Forgetting about it. Just a minute. No, I put it on church. So this was the crux point, the masses. I thought to bring it here and later on ask you how you handle it. I'm giving a background of the challenges.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. That's how I evolved slowly. And I need to see, just a minute. So the final thing is coming nowadays, no? Like this was the parenting, evolved to authoritative, and then coming now for today scenario, in the global scenario where AI is coming up and parents have nothing to say. Children are already smart enough to look for and find an AI agent who is parent.
True.
So this scenario now, parents are at loss. What they are hoping that if my child could have self-discipline. No? What you are hoping? One day child will wake up, become intelligent, and start to have a self-discipline. Discipline by not asking from me, not from others, but become conscious and starts to discipline the self. Emotional maturity and social competence. Because in this now, survival becoming very tough. Very tough. And if you approach, the emotional maturity has to be fast. Emotional intelligence has to be more because you need to handle a lot of stress in order to manifest. If you think you are creative or something to say, or want to put an impact over the society, I'm somebody, listen to me. In that way, you need to have social competence now. These three things now modern psychology is thinking about. We are in this scenario where we are hoping the self-discipline. So now it's not a point how to discipline the child. Now is a point what is strategy to be adopted that child starts to take the self-discipline by itself. The modern strategies. And competence has to be seen. Emotional maturity is becoming very less because of the quick flow of the emotions over the reels and over the cyberspace. Emotions are changing very fast within a minute. You watch one reel, you are different emotions. You watch another reel, different emotions. So each reel is coming. So emotions are changing very fast. In this scenario, the old generation did not face this fast changing mode. So this leading to mood swings. Because children adopt the role, how the person is talking, what language it's using, what are the face structures. So they are copying that. So this is the problem of today. In all the scenario, looking at a traditional point of view, an Indian point of view, right? Taking the essence and just being there. If one word we have to choose between parent and child and education is obedience. If child is fully obedient to you, you are fully relaxed as a parent. It's very simple proportion. in parenting, the conflict or emotional conflict or anything arising, that is simply proportional to obedience. Parent 100% relaxed if their child 100% obeying him or her. If 90% child is obeying, then 10% is attention to the parents. And 10% joy to the child is denying it, exploring it. So actually, this is the proportion since beginning till now, until the life will be between parent and child. The obedience matters first because child is not grown up. In the beginning, parents wants 100% obedience. Child not exploring by himself anything, fully controlled involved. Everywhere, the helicopter view, you are looking at the child, what every moment. And then child wants to become independent. So this is a generation gap, conflict, essence, one word, obedience. Child also wants obedience from the parent because parents asking him to be obedient, the child learning, oh, obedience is the main thing. So he also asks, do it for me. Then parents, when the parents don't do, it's a trauma for the child. And child throwing tantrum. To release the trauma from the body and mind is natural. He doesn't know how to control. It's fully instinct. So child throws the tantrum. This is the essential reason why a child will throw tantrum. No reason. No reason for a child to throw tantrum unless he notices that these parents are not following me, not obeying me, and I am obeying them 100%.
Makes sense.
So, yeah. So this mismatch in his mind cannot balance. It's a natural mind, tabula rasa coming up and slowly learning the socialization. So for him, this double standard of judgment is not in his mind. He says, you are doing what why cannot I do it? If you are doing it, I can also do it. On this logic, the trauma started to arise, and the trauma cannot be suppressed in the childhood. It will be always expressed through a tantrum. And if you suppress the trauma, which happens in authoritarian family, means you are not allowing a rebel to be born. So the moment the child will take power, rebel against the father. And that's how in your rulership family you will see always relations cutting each other to become a king. Anyone will gain power, will claim the throne or the higher post. So it's a completely different way of teaching in two scenarios. Of one is being conditioned to rule the people, one is being conditioned to be ruled. How to be ruled by somebody, how to become obedient, and how in that to become clever to adjust and find your way, and not to fight with authorities, but find a way for your survival. So these two conditionings remains in both the situation. Obedience remains the main. If you have any complaint from the children begins, first thing will begin from obedience point of view. And from the child also, we don't see it, but from the child also, because child is learning the same. What you are teaching, they are learning, and he says it should be for everyone. So this is my background over for today. So you can see the movements of many generations, how parenting, the definitions and social acceptance, how the parents should teach or treat, and how the older generation should teach or treat. Now, in a scenario, there is no skill transfer happening between two generations. Each one is free to choose its own profession in its own way. So obedience here will be very less. So there will be enormous tension between parents. And it will be keep on growing. It's growing since beginning till now. And it will keep on growing. The parenting is taking maximum energy in the people. And that's how in any psychotherapy, we have to go to the childhood to unlearn whatever you have learned in your childhood. Time has changed. You can't adjust in your relationship with this conditioning. So we need therapy. So the demand of therapy is a lot. Demand of therapy is increasing because tension is increasing and almost coming to no obedience. So 90% non-obedience between two generations. You can see the tension rising. Then we, as an older generation, we must see the scenario and stop expecting obedience. If we want, it's only a way to teach him self-discipline. How? It's a real challenge. So in this way, you have seen Jenny, authoritarian also. You might have experienced authoritative also. And now you have entered with your grandchildren into this phase where no obedience. And you are challenged to teach them self-discipline without reinforcing them with reward and punishment. How you will? In any case, I was looking for the research work that what exactly if something has succeeded in parenting and accepted universally. One thing which you once mentioned about your child, that one time you were very angry and said, "Get out of my house." You remember? And it changed his behavior. Well, you were a little bit too much, but here it has been proven in psychology that if children's raising their voices, becoming angry, or which behaviors which you don't want, you should cut off, like we are saying, cutting off the connection. Only that word in that sense. So that gives a break of emotional thing and challenges the child to recompose yourself. So I found only one technique which was universally working, and I didn't find any other techniques universally accepted. So this is one behavior. Now, Kalinath is there, you are there, Howell is there, the scenario is open. Come out with your experience. Tell me your story.
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's interesting when you were talking. I was thinking about I babysit my grandson every Monday, and he's 3, and he's very bright. We build things and we go out and play and have fun. Well, then when we get the toys out, I'll say, "Okay, we have to pick up the toys," and he said, "No, I don't want to." I said, "Well, we can't get out the magnets and play with those until the toys are picked up. So I guess I'll just sit here and I'll put a show on and I'll watch it." "No, Nanny, I want you to play with me." I said, "Well, I can't play with you unless we pick up the toys." And I said, "Why don't we sing while we pick up the toys?" And so then I start singing a song. And so then he goes down, he helps me, and we pick up the toys. And then I used another psychology on that because their toy room was a disaster. And I said, "Do you know how happy your mom and dad would be if we organize this toy room? But I don't know where anything goes. Can you help me?" So he went in and we started organizing the toys. So I guess through the years, I found that if we help them and become a part of it, rather than saying, go do this and make it fun, as you say, they enjoy doing it and it's not work. And if we sing a song during it, it actually takes away the, I have to do this or I have to, it's not fun. So that's one of the ways that I've worked with my grandson. And then if he doesn't want to eat something, I'll say, oh, that's fine. I'll eat it because I'm really hungry. No, it's mine. You
This
can't
trick
eat it.
also we did. This trick works, yeah.
Yeah, and so I pick up the bowl to go eat it, and I go, no, it's mine.
So
So
did you
yeah,
see? May I interrupt?
what?
May I
Sure.
interrupt? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the essence, the insight here is that children noticing only what their parents are enjoying,
Mhm.
and they will do exactly what their parents are. And you cannot fake them.
Oh no.
If you fake them, it will become a trust issue. Like you show
I
them,
know.
oh, I am eating this bitter Karela, is very healthy, very tasty. But when they eat, no, the doubt. So you have to be very careful. One doubt, and then, so you cannot fake around in this scenario. Once you fake, finished, doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and when I think when I, to discipline when they're younger, I'm talking about younger children, and, there are two negatives deplete. Okay. So if you say, no, don't go near the stairs, you've canceled out the no, don't, and you're saying, go to the stairs. So what I tried to do is I'd go ta-ta, ta-ta. I said, that's caca. And so they learned that caca means that's not very good. I don't say don't or no to them because then they start to repeat that. They say no to everybody else. So I go ta-ta, and they'll look at me and I'll say, that's caca. So I've used different strategies with the kids, not so that they wouldn't go into the no, I won't do that, the rebellious part. So that seems to have worked.
And also giving them one also trick works, like giving them two choices.
Yes.
And but both the choices are yours.
Of course.
See,
But you know what?
but
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to tell you, in all your strategy, you will find that obedience, you are trying that they should be obedient to me.
Yeah, I'm still trying to control,
And you
right?
are asking all kinds of strategy, how they can be obedient to me, because this is the only way parents can relax.
Oh, true that. Okay, Shree, I get it. Well, you got to be smarter than the child, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but if you have everything, if you go with fun, like if the
Yes.
fun is there arises no trust issue. Trust issue will arise when you're serious about it.
Well, you create force. Force creates reaction.
Hmm.
And you know
In
what? I
fun
explained
way,
that.
yeah, in fun way, you can apply any tricks. When they're grown up, they will see, oh, it was a fun.
Yeah.
But they will take it seriously if you were serious about it.
If what?
If you were serious about it,
Yes. Yes.
and then they will take it seriously.
Oh, yeah.
If it is fun, their mind is open. Oh, we were children, and that's it. It was a fun. All this was a fun. Right and wrong and lies. My grandma lies or my parents lies. Oh, this is okay. This is a part of a play. Nothing serious about. They will not need therapy. But if you have been serious about some points, it will require therapy.
Like I said, my daughter always told me her problem was I never disciplined her enough. But, when they got to be teenager age, I think it's important for parents to observe the child's talents and spend time alone, because I had multiple children, so it's different than having one child. So the first four went to a Catholic school because I was raised Catholic and my mother had a great influence in that. Anyway, they didn't have any art programs. So after school, I started a cultural arts program for the kids because I was totally into the arts. And we had watercolor. We had a guy came in that did wood carving with balsam wood. And I brought in kids from the college to do painting and all kinds in 2 foreign languages. And it was interesting because I had one of the children in the group that I was working with was being really, really naughty. So I thought about it. And so I took him aside and I said, I need somebody to run the show here. So you keep an eye out on everything. So I gave him authority in the group, and then he stopped being naughty because then he was going around helping people instead of creating chaos and needing attention. So that's something I learned from actually having that class. And then as they got older, I was on the board at the YWCA, and I started an inner artist program down at the Y. And I brought in real expanded thinking things, like I had a guy that was with the government and was a pilot, and he came in and talked about ETs with the kids. So I was opening their consciousness on there can be more going on. And then I had rock bands come in and we'd have for the kids, and they dance I'm talking, this is like early high school. So I tried to observe what they needed so that they didn't go other places to get it. So those are some of the things that I did with the kids.
Okay. So
observing what their needs are is really important.
yeah. And they should not observing, and they should feel that, yes, you are feeling their needs. See,
You care.
punishment also doesn't have, we are talking in a way that something which is happening in the childhood affecting whole life.
Right.
So and if more conscious you are, more worried you will become. Because you can see each actions, what it will bring in the future, if these things will remain. The parenting goes more with if we divide between parenting a girl and parenting a boy. That's a different phenomena. And but parenting with the girl, I noticed that mother is not lenient. Mother is more strict to the girl. And
protective.
father is more strict, even in discipline. In obedience. In obedience, mother is more strict to the girl. She's demanding more obedience from the girl, mother to the daughter, rather than the boys.
That's true.
Father asking more obedience from the boys rather than from the girl.
It's true.
I have been observing in this way. So this is one of the phenomena. What I'm saying now, to the point coming, obedience, punishment, and how the child is receiving it, that matters. As a therapeutic point of view.
Right.
But I'm dealing with every day with the people giving therapy and going into the history of each person and seeing phenomena, what exactly, which is universal phenomena. We all have stories, but more or less, it's just around the same principles. It's moving around. That's how therapy works. You know the bottom line of a structure and the story changing.
Mhm.
Yes, Pavel, please.
I realized that I'm totally opposite your view.
Okay. Finally,
Because
somebody come as
besides
an exception to prove my
Go,
rule.
Pavel, go, go.
yes, because 100% obedient is the dead person. In my world, when I grew up, it was zero punishment in our family. My mother was a teacher in the school, so I believe in motivation, not in punishment. Positive motivation is works for me much better than the punishment. And also in corporate, my corporate business experience, it shows that there is no rule how to manage people. Different people should be managed differently. Young secretary came, and you have to be very strict with her when you transfer the knowledge and the standards. Later, you should support her, and when she will be enough experienced, she will be top of the secretaries, and she will rule. So you have to just give 99% freedom with her. So every person should be treated differently in different times of life. So this is, and also the transfer of the knowledge. I agree with Jenny when you have to find the talent and then not put water in this. The child is not a bowl, it's a fire stick. You have to burn it, and he will become whatever he wants because the interest will burn his talent. And the last thing I want to mention that the wisdom. So we speak about the pearls of wisdom. If you look at the kids, Johnny mentioned one thing, naughty boy. But if you look at him and find out that he is perfect in his life, then you have to understand how to use this obedience, his naughty style, to not to put them obedient. It's impossible, but to find how he can manage his life properly with his own style. And this is not easy. It's very very dynamic process. This is fun the principles. Everybody is contracts and expand, contract and expand. During the day, few times you have to change your style of communication, and this is my point of view.
This is modern ways coming. Like what I'm telling you that if someone has been brought up in authoritarian family, look, we are coming from Indian family, and Indian conditioning, parents know always better. So what you will become, engineer, doctor, what we are watching the scenario, and we will set up your career. Whatever we say, you do it. No, like just like my grandfather, my father was intelligent, very intelligent. Like at the time, intelligence means memory. That is the, but he might have been intelligent. So he was more interested towards he could remember the literature, poetries and things, and enjoying and reciting. So he was more towards the art side. But my grandfather had a mind that I will make my son an engineer. So he forced him to become an engineer. He didn't study well, but whatsoever, but he was not happy about becoming an engineer. Given a freedom, he could have chosen some different path, but to abide by the parents. So in Indian way, now it's maybe changing a little bit, not so much. The parents knows always better to whom you will marry, Parents knows better. So India is going through a change phase, Indian conditioning from authoritarian to authoritative, and is struggling with it. So children's demanding, we need authoritative parenting. Now India is amazingly blasted with this AI things. First, there was no skill transfer. India agreed. So if the children are engineer, doctors, other professions which parents not, they say, okay, you choose by yourself, we will agree. Now, in this scenario. Otherwise, even they insist, even though, oh, which one you are choosing, this, that, no, we will have to say something. And in Indian family, everyone has to say something if you come to marry. Your uncle, aunt, forever relationship, brothers, sisters, everyone see and give its opinion whether you should marry to this woman or to this man or not. Not only parents. So it's a different scenario here. I brought up in a different conditionings and different way. So and also this, I studied the Indian scriptures and things, and then obedience. You must obey your parents like God. You must obey your guru and teacher like God. No one is less than God here. So if you give respect that much you give to God. So you must give that much respect. You will be that much obedient to the God commandments of God, then you must obey the parents also the same value. 10 commandments, as much it has, as it is in Bible, as it is written in Veda, as it is written in Shastra, that much value must be given to the parents. This is our condition. And growing from this, moving around the world, you can imagine how much shocks I have got. Every moment, each relationship was a shock. And meeting with all kinds of countries, people, working with them and their conditioning, everywhere surprised how they are thinking. No, how they are thinking. Just we can't imagine this is the way you can also think about. So I got shocks and shocked, but this worked very nice for me to understand anyone. From any perspective, person coming, oh, from this perspective, this behavior, this conditionings, oh, this is the childhood bottom line. This is the way of throwing tantrum. No? That means I can see things in a different way. Just because not reading books, but being with people and living with them.
How do you think intuition plays a part in this? I know with my children, I can see the writing on the wall in certain situations, like you talking about who they're going to marry and their situations. And I remember my one son was with this girl and he came and talked to me about it. And so I broke it down to him. I could see exactly what was going to happen. But I said, it's your choice. And so inevitably they split up. But it was exactly what I saw. So how much do we guide them with intuition or say to them? Because it didn't make a difference what I told him. He ended up doing it anyway, which was fine with me because everybody has their own path. But I have another son right now that's the same situation. So I'm just contemplating how or if I should say anything. But if he asks me, shouldn't we be honest?
Jenny, you have been grown up in childhood as an authoritarian parents or authoritarian?
My mother was Irish and very strong. Yes, I mean, and when I was a senior, I wanted to go to college. I had the grades. And my dad was German and very old fashioned because he wouldn't even let me drive the tractors on the farm. And I would have loved to drive the tractors. I was very physical. And so I wanted to go to college. They wouldn't let me go to college. So when I graduated, I got a job in a factory and moved out in 2 months. And when I moved out, he handed me my insurance policy and said, here, you can pay for this too. So I was on my own at 18 and moved out and got an apartment and got a job.
So you are product of German and Irish.
Germany. Yeah, it was like, oh my God, and they didn't kill each other.
If Kalinath will throw some light on German conditionings, parenting challenges,
Oh boy.
its
Yeah, it's
context.
big.
She's
I
in
think
Germany.
I
Kalinath
think
is
here,
in Germany.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello, namaste from Germany. Yeah, here. I
Hi.
also very new situation and very chaotic situation, and there are very big gaps in between all the generations. But I think the reason is also because our world is moving very fast. For sure, in India is the fastest way, and yeah, so the gaps become more and more big, so that one generation cannot understand the other generation. They they lose to change the perspective because they don't know it at all. The younger generation doesn't understand the older generation, and also other way around. Just yeah. I think
Yeah.
Germany is very famous for discipline, but it is not true.
See, that's
No.
what I'm saying. No, what Jenny was saying, that the child must understand that you are understanding their needs. And in the new situation, the need of new generation is always different than it was need yours.
Absolutely.
And that's where comes, oh, they are not feeling my needs. Situation has changed, drastically changed. And there is no way we can understand each other. You see what a bottom line convictions and beliefs are being born. Once you already believe that there is no way I can communicate with Jenny, how possible? There will be no initiative. What and who is responsible for it? If we think we are more intelligent than this generation, we are responsible. If we think we are not intelligent, we should be open to learn. So now it's coming, and particularly it was introduced by Osho. He suffered in different way in his childhood because of this authoritarian conditionings of the child, and he became a rebel, like in his childhood story. So he is coming more. A concept is changing, like in yoga. In yoga, we do Kriya Yoga. The Kriya Yoga is a technique to evolve the mind, which naturally might take brain and mind to evolve maybe billions of years. And then Kriya Yoga has got this insight that how to reduce these billions of years of evolutions of the mind and intelligence, which you will throw, naturally it will grow. You can condense it in hours and days. And what is the observation? Observation is the prana, the life force, which is giving a rhythm in the womb. So this rhythm of the life force, when the parents combine, like the egg and the sperm is combining, a small cell, maybe, no, very small, and it's growing enormous. Can you imagine the growth rate? And it's also observed that this fetus is growing and going through the vertebra formations and all these things in the same way as we have evolved in species. From water kingdom to amphibians, to trees, to quadruped, to fly, not this way, evolution there. In any case, yoga studied the prana force. So he says, studied that until 9 months, the prana is vibrating very differently and very high speed. The prana is a very high speed. And the growth rate of the child is enormous. The brain, the evolution, the cells. So if you want to be young, and if your cells are dying, not regenerating new tissues, brain is not regenerating new neurons, new neural path, what you will do? If you can simulate the same rhythm of prana inside you, you will reverse. New cells will start to be born. New ideas will start to come. Everything new begins as a child beginning in the womb. And that has been a process of rebirthing for the yogis. They can go into this womb state, be there, and come out reborn and enormously developed mind, a new circuit in the brain.
What's that called?
Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga.
Clear? C-L-E-A-R?
Kriya. Yoga in action. It's called Kriya. Kriya means act. You can say active yoga.
How do you spell that?
K-R.
Kite, rabbit, India, yellow, America. Kite, rabbit, India, yellow, America.
Ria.
Yeah, Kriya.
Ria. Okay. I want to do some research on
A
that.
Hindi Sanskrit word, a Hindi word, Kriya. So what is here when I studied these things? I started to, my paradigm shift, that I need to learn from the child. First thing. Because it's giving me an evolutionary formula. When child is born, and after just born, child prana is the same. But if the prana remains same, the rhythm, child will develop like a giant within few months, if the growth rate becomes the same. So the prana, after the birth, the moment it's cut, immediately changing its rhythm. And the growth rate becomes even not slow so much, but even fast, but less. To be compatible with in 1 year, child will grow 2 centimeters or 4 centimeters. If prana remains the same, in 1 year, the child will grow 100 centimeters. The proportion of, you see, the geometric progression, the one zygote becoming a big, full child. The cells are blasting every moment. And after 9 months of birth, until the head is like very soft here, and the crown chakra is very soft when the child is born. And the prana, you can see the rhythm, nerves. Prana there, no? Vibrating.
Mhm, yeah.
And there is a rhythm. If you can sense the rhythm and just simulate it, same, you will start to grow even not that fast, but half of that. After the birth of 9 months again, when this is all completed, the skull is fully protected, the growth rate comes to us, this one. The prana becomes down and we start to go slowly, not so fast. So activating this biological growth and adjusting with the intelligence circuit of the brain. The whole learning is coming from a child, observing a child. So a paradigm shift, rather than thinking that teaching a child, whatever the age of the parents of a generation, doesn't matter, if they just revert the process to learn from the child. This is a solution for all our parenting problems.
You noticed when you own, I'm sure you own, correct? I notice at certain times when I'm oming, I can feel the spiral. Sometimes it's faster and sometimes it's slower. So is that correlated with that, what we're talking about?
No, I'm just talking about giving an example before I come to the point that child is not only source of teaching. That the moment child is born, parents feel responsible. Oh, we have to teach him a lot. But rather
Yeah, I
than
get that.
thinking, if you can reverse the process, oh, we have to learn from him a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
That will immediately, authoritarian ground will finish. You are already giving an authority to the child. You are learning from him. So this transfer of authority will change the parenting system.
No, what I meant was you were talking about the pulse
Yeah.
in the infant.
A rhythm. Yeah.
Is that-
Pulse.
Okay, that same pulse I notice when I ohm, that there's a
Yes.
spiral.
Mhm.
So is that connected to that? When
Could
you
be
ohm?
if you will be meditating or hook on to that rhythm or that space. And
Yeah.
if you have a desire to be young, or if you are already in a healing process and you have desire to be young, remain young, and be creative or learning new things, then your prana will follow your mind. Prana follows
So there
the
has to
mind.
be intent. So there has
Pardon?
to be intent. So there has to be intent in that because I
Yeah,
usually
intent.
don't have any.
Like, because
I have
prana
no
is
intent.
prana follows the mind. Mind is the boss, controlling the energy. The controller of this energy is the mind. It's controlled through the mind. So mind is the boss of the energy.
Yeah.
It's the mind which channels the energy, which controls the energy. The mind is the boss. If you think like that's how we meditate, take your prana to the middle of this nerve, sushumna, neither left nor right, in the middle. So you are focusing there through the mind. Wherever you focus, prana will go there. So if you focus on divine channel, the prana will move into divine channel. If you will think in a different way, the prana will move in a different way. With each emotions, it's changing, the rhythm changing. But who? Mind is affecting this energy system. So like if you say, awaken the kundalini, heart chakra. So where you will look? You will not look at the shoulder. You will focus at the heart. So wherever you focus, prana will move there. Energy will go there.
What if you're not focusing at all? Where's it go?
It will be dispersed everywhere. So what I'm saying that we are bringing here, and next time we listen, we are not here to talk about the theories, but also the stories, no? Like the real stories backing up the
Yeah.
thing. So if you find next episode is learning from the child. Bring out the stories, what you learn from your children.
Oh boy.
Ah,
We might need about 5 shows.
now you will have a real challenge of your German father and Irish mother.
Oh, yeah.
Never thought about it, no? But now it's a time to think. Time to think. Different way. And that will open a channel to the new generation. Old generation is open to learn from the new generation. That's already transferring the authority and giving them a lot of respect. That will come back to the other generation. Yes, there is a communication possible with older generation. We can talk and same respect and obedience. You will follow them, they will follow you. So respect and obedience will be reestablished in the parenting system, and generation gap can be bridged. That is my idea.
You know, I always said that I must have had a lot to learn because I had 6 children. They were my greatest teachers. Totally.
So here we are. Next episode, we are open to listen to a story. What did you learn? I'll just give you a yoga perspective. And I will give you a lot of therapeutic things which I have observed just by child. Amazing therapy, rejuvenation, anti-aging techniques. Resolving any emotional trauma in you. If you can follow just a newborn baby, the movement of its spine directed by its breath. If you can simulate it, you will not need any therapy. And you will not have complaint in life. Or any situation you are facing, conflict, trauma, just go to that breath. Observe from a newborn child before 9 months. Follow the spine movements, and that's why I teach in my rejuvenation technique, which I'm teaching 6-month course. I begin with the same prana, same movement, and that is the axis I take the axis on vertebra and only work on vertebral centers, nervous system. And through that, controlling the all energy system. So first fixing the mind, and then fixing the energy, and then fixing the body. This is my technique. This is my technique of rejuvenations and anti-aging.
That's awesome.
Basically coming from that. Yeah. So it's exactly 1 hour. Next time we listen some story from Kalinath or Pavel. What did we learn from the chat? How open we are, what we are learning, and what is our plan. That is a resolution of parenting.
Very informational. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So see you next Wednesday. Pavel, I think not there. Pavel disappeared. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So next Wednesday.